Hey friends, in today's video we are doing a full face of Jane Iredale. I teamed up with Jane Iredale because they have a brand new launch that I am so excited to share with you guys. They launched a new lip gloss. This is the Color Luxe High Impact Lip Glaze. It comes in 7 shades and you guys are going to love these. High impact in terms of pigment, high impact in terms of shine, lightweight, super glossy without the sticky, heavy feeling on the lips. I cannot wait to share these with you. We're also creating this beautiful kind of fall-inspired look using everything from Jane Iredale. Let's go ahead and dive right in. So we're gonna go ahead and get started with foundation. I'm gonna go in with the Jane Iredale Pure Pressed Mineral Powder Foundation. This has an SPF of 20, and you guys, this is just such a lovely product. It is the powder foundation, but I promise you, it looks nothing like any powder foundation you have worn in the past. It looks very skin-like. It actually has reflective properties in it, so it reflects light, which gives it more of a natural skin-like finish. You can get full coverage from this. You can get more sheer coverage. It really depends on the tool that you're using. I'm using the Nikki LaRose BK Beauty N15 brush, and if you notice, I'm just kind of like packing and pressing it on and layering the product. That's because I want to get full coverage from this. The reason I love this foundation is 1, it's so easy and quick to apply. 2, it looks as beautiful as any other of my favorite liquid or cream foundations. It truly does. 3, it has an SPF of 20. And 4, it's really good for your skin. If you are not familiar with Jane Iredale, I know many of you guys are, but Jane Iredale is kind of the original, I shouldn't even say kind of, I feel like she is the original in clean, natural makeup. They are actually celebrating 30 years this year of the brand. So 30 years ago, Jane set out on a mission to create makeup that was actually good for your skin. Fun little fact about Jane is her background, she was a casting director. So she was casting models and actresses, and she was noticing that their skin was just in terrible condition because, as you can imagine, as a model, as an actress, you're getting makeup applied, removed, applied, removed. And back then, you know, it was just all this heavy, cakey stage makeup. And it was impacting their skin. Their skin were having breakouts. It was difficult to cover. So she thought there has to be a better way to make makeup. And that's how the brand was born. So fun fact, Pure Press Base was one of the first products that they launched. And from what I understand, there hasn't been any altercations to the formula. So it's still the original amazing formula that it was when they launched. And this is their best seller. This is such a beautiful foundation. And don't just take it from me, you guys. If you wear this foundation, drop a comment down below and let us know what you love about it. I think one of the most surprising things that I discovered when I started sharing this product a couple years ago is how many of you had been using it, had loved it, and you guys were commenting like, you know, I'm 65 and I love this foundation. I'm 70 and this looks beautiful on my skin. And I'm only like calling out those ages because it's not typical that powder foundation looks flattering on more mature skin. I know I kind of shied away from powder foundation after the age of 35 until I discovered this, and now this is one of my most worn foundations. It is really that good, you guys, and it's good for your skin. So okay, now that I've got this like layered and applied pretty liberally, I've got great coverage. I need to go in and conceal underneath the eyes. So I'm gonna go in and we are gonna conceal with, I have 2 concealers here. So I have their Enlighten Plus, which is actually my favorite concealer. I think we're gonna go in with this. And then I have their Pure Match Concealer. So I'm gonna go in with the Enlighten Plus because I'm gonna conceal underneath my eyes. And what I love about this concealer is it's just got this really beautiful kind of whipped texture. I feel like it not only conceals and corrects, but it actually kind of adds a little volume underneath the eyes. It has this little cool applicator up here. I'm actually gonna apply it to the back of my hand and then use my finger to apply it. Shade 1 is a really pretty peachy tone, so that's great to neutralize darkness and brighten underneath the eyes. Pure Match is a really lovely concealer. It's more of a liquid formula. It looks great underneath the eyes, and you can also use it on the face. Now, Enlighten Plus is a pretty thick, like whipped texture, so you don't really need a lot. I'm gonna go in first with my finger and just kind of apply it in the inner corner, apply it out here, and then I'm gonna go in with a brush and blend that out. We're gonna go in with the A506 and just press this in to blend it into the skin. You guys, I also have a 20% code on Jane Iredale. It is Lisa20, so I will drop that down in the description box below, but when you shop directly on Jane Iredale's website, so not a third-party retailer, not an Ulta, not a Nordstrom, not any other retail, but you shop directly on Jane Iredale's site, you can use the code Lisa20 and get 20% off. So why don't we just go ahead and give them a big thank you for that. That is amazing. 20% off is amazing. Okay, oh, that looks so good. Yes, it conceals, it brightens, and it just kind of like fills in underneath the eye. That might be just like my imagination, but I truly feel like this concealer adds a little bit of volume. So if you have like deep set under eyes, I feel like this like just, you know, obviously it's makeup. It's not going to work miracles, but I feel like it really does kind of create the illusion of a more filled in underneath eye. Okay. Oh my God, I love it. It's so, so good. And it's very soft. It doesn't accentuate fine lines or texture. It looks very smooth. I love that. Next, we're going to go in and warm up the face, and I'm going to be using the Jane Iredale powder bronzer. Without a doubt, one of my favorite powder bronzers. I think it's everything from the texture of this. It's a very silky, lightweight formula, but the pigment is the perfect amount. Like, it's not too sheer, but it's very easy to work with too. It's not too much pigment. But I also love the tone of this. The tone of this is really, really nice. I'm going to go in with a BK Beauty 107 brush, and I'm just going to load up the brush. And the way that I like to apply this is I like to just really load the brush up pretty liberally, and then I just kind of go and bounce it on the skin. I'm not like, you know, rubbing it back and forth. I don't want to disrupt the foundation underneath. I just want to bounce it. Do you see how even and consistent that is? It's just so smooth. And then I'm going to run a little bit into the hairline, and when I do this, I will kind of work the brush back and forth just to really shear it out. So good. Look at that. Oh, it's so nice. If you ever feel like you go a little heavy with your bronzer, or maybe you pulled it down a little too far, I think right here I could kind of go back and fix it. All I'm going to do is I'm going to take the brush that I applied my foundation with, and I'm just going to kind of buff out that edge and kind of correct it a little bit. Okay, next we're going to go in with blush, and I pulled two blushes here. I pulled my favorite, the blush stick in the shade Balmy. I absolutely love this blush. I have a deep love affair with this blush. The formula is really nice, but the color of this blush is just like the perfect peachy pink. It adds so much youth and vitality to the skin. It really just lights the face up. And then I also have this powder blush in the shade Velvet Petal, which is like a really pretty kind of warm peachy apricot shade. What should we do? I think I'm going to go in with Balmy, you guys. I think I'm going to go with Balmy. It's very hard to resist Balmy when I have her sitting right here in front of me. So the way that I like to apply Balmy is I like to take my BK Beauty 112 blush brush. It's a nice, small, angled brush, so it's perfect to just hit right there on the cheekbone, especially if you're trying to condense your blush in a smaller space, or if you have like more narrow, thin face, this is great. And I actually like to go from the brush to the product. You can certainly take this to the skin and blend it out with your fingers if you like. I actually just like to do this because I feel like it gives me more control. It also allows me to just have control over building the level of pigment that I want. And I'm just going to go and smile and use the apple of my cheek as a guide, and I'm going to start there, but then I'm going to kind of blend it up. I'm really trying to work on getting my blush placement a little bit higher and a little bit further back. Everything in me, you guys, wants to take this blush and just run it right here on my cheeks. That's what I really want to do. I just like to see blush. When I look head on in the mirror, I like to see it on my cheeks. But truthfully, the most flattering way for me to apply blush on my face shape is to keep it a little higher up here and a little further back. So maybe you don't see it when you're looking so direct on, but when I turn, you really see that color and that lift. When we apply blush or too much product too low or too far down, it just kind of brings attention to the eye. It draws the eye to that area and makes the face look a little bit more sunken. So I'm trying to go for a more lifted look here. But at the end of the day, I always say makeup is to be worn for you, the person that is applying it, for your own face. So if you know what, if you love to apply your blush here or you love to apply it here, do whatever you want. You know, makeup is personal. It's supposed to make you feel good. So if that makes you feel good, rock it. That's my opinion. Okay. Oh, so good. This blush is so beautiful. It doesn't have any shimmer to it, but because it's a cream, it's going to give that luminosity to the skin. So it's going to give a natural highlight without adding any shimmer. This is truly like a refresh to the face. You know, if you want to look 5-10 years younger, I shouldn't say that, but if you want to just have a more youthful look to the cheeks and the face, this will do it. It'll light up the face and give you that really healthy, youthful glow. Absolutely love this. Okay, so I'm gonna do something fun on the eyes today. I picked up this palette Solar Flare, you guys. Look at how pretty this is. I felt like this palette really just feels like a good fall autumn palette. The shades are so beautiful. They are, for the most part, all shimmer. Yeah, they are all shimmer. The lighter one has a little bit less to it, but they all do have some level of shimmer or sheen to them. We are gonna create a beautiful, beautiful kind of smoky fall look with this. First, I'm gonna go in, I'm gonna prep the eyelids. So I'm gonna take a little bit of that concealer. Actually, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna take a little bit of the Pure Match concealer, and we're gonna use this as a primer on the eyes. And I'm just gonna use a tiny bit, not too much. And I'm gonna take the N16 brush to blend this out. This is the concealer brush from the Nikki LaRose BK Beauty launch. And I love this because it has a really tapered, pointy tip. So I love to apply eye primer or liquid shadow or basically anything on the lid with this that's a cream or liquid. I love this brush for. I love that pointed tip to get right there in the inner corner, and then I also like how it's flat, so you can really use the flat side to spread it out. It's basically like using your finger, but an upgraded version of that, because all the fibers are going to give you a real nice, sheer, even blend. Let's go ahead and go in with the eyeshadow. We're going to go in first with this really beautiful, beautiful bronze. Let's take a little swatch of it on our fingers. Really beautiful, kind of coppery, shimmery shade. And I'm going to go in with the 203 brush to apply this. We're going to grab the side of the brush, pick up the shadow, and we're going to go and lay that pretty much all over the lid. Now, even though these have some shimmer to them, they're just a really refined shimmer. So they're not chunky. There's not a lot of fallout at all. I haven't had any. Not to say you won't have any, but I think if you are using the right brushes and you just kind of tap off any excess, you shouldn't have an issue with any fallout. Now, when you're working with shimmer shades are really great because they highlight the eye. They reflect light, which gives the illusion of something coming forward. So on the lid, I'm creating this illusion of like a bigger, larger lid. And I think too, when you're dealing with eyelids that might have a little more texture on the eye, just really look for shimmers that are very refined. So you want to look for something that's smooth and consistent on the skin. You want to avoid shades that are really glittery or just don't have that level of consistent pigment, because those can accentuate texture and that can make fine lines, wrinkles, texture on the eye look more obvious. Oh, this shade is so pretty. Next, I'm going to go and I'm going to take the same brush, but I'm running it on a paper towel just to kind of remove that dark shade. And we're going to go in with the lightest shade right here, and we're going to apply this underneath the brow to give a little bit of a highlight. Now, this shadow does have some shimmer to it, but it's softer, so it's more of a sheen, so it's a very soft highlight. When I'm using shadow underneath the brow, I try to avoid eyeshadows that are very frosty or very shimmery. I might use something like that on the lid, but underneath the brow, I don't like to use anything too shimmery. And this is just perfect. It's like the perfect amount of highlight. I'm also going to take this same shade and I'm going to kind of light up right here in the inner corner of the eye. Do you see what that just did? Oh, so pretty. Do the same thing over here. Really just bring some light and brightness right there. Oh, so, so nice. Next, let's add a little dimension into the crease. So I want to stick with this palette. We're going to go with this shade right here. So not quite the darkest, but you know, next to the darkest shade, it's got a lot of warmth to it, a lot of red in this shade. And I'm going to take a smaller crease brush. This is the 211 from BK Beauty. This is smaller, and because the shade is darker, I really want to control it. So I don't want to go in with something too big like the 212 or the 202, because I'm working with a darker shade. I want to make sure that I have complete control over where I apply that. So we're going to go in with the 211. I might decide to bump up to a fluffier, larger brush once I have this applied, but I want to control placement first. So we're just going to kind of run this right in the outer corner and then about midway through to the center of the eye. So that gave a little bit of definition, but I'm going to go in and bump this up to get a little bit more. So next we're going to go in with the darkest shade right here, and we're going to use the same brush and we're going to just kind of apply this right here in the outer corner to bump this up. I want you to see my skin right now. I want you to see the finish of my skin. I mean, does that look like a powder foundation to you? I don't think so. It is so, so pretty. Oh, so good. Okay, this is perfect. This color adds just the right amount of contrast to the eye. So gorgeous. Okay, now that I have that applied, I am going to take my 212 crease brush. I'm not adding anything to it. I'm just using the soft fluffiness of this to just kind of buff out the edges and give a very like diffused edge to this. This little extra step doesn't seem like much, but it really makes all the difference, you guys. When you want really soft, blended out shadow, do this trick. Take a fluffier crease brush. Don't add any shadow to it. Just use it clean and use it to buff out the edges. It just gives a more seamless, smooth, kind of more professional look to the eye. It's the small little details, you guys, the small little details that you can take to just bump up your makeup look. We're gonna jump over here to one of the Color Luxe eyeshadow sticks. I'm gonna use that as my liner. This is the shade Americano. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use the N12 brush and this product as my liner. So I'm gonna run this right at the base of my lashes, and I'm not too concerned, you guys, about getting a thin, perfect line because I'm gonna go in with my N12 brush to smoke this out. Right now I just want to get the product on the eye. Okay, so now I have it on. I didn't take this all the way to the inner corner. I really left this on the outer corner. And I'm going to take my N12 brush and I'm just going to run this over it. And you want to do this one eye at a time. These shadow sticks are really nice and creamy, so you can spread them. But once they set, they stay in place. They don't really budge. So you want to make sure that you blend this out while it's still creamy before it has set. So that's why I like to do one eye at a time. Oh, so good. Okay, another little trick you can do is you can actually take your brush to the product if that makes you feel a little more comfortable. Like if you have smaller eyes or really hooded eyes, this might be a better technique for you because the color stick is like a, it's a thicker crayon. It's not necessarily like a fine eyeliner. So this will give you a little bit more control. Either little way will work. Going directly to the lid is a little quicker way and gives a little bit more impact, but doing it this way works as well. Now I love these color sticks. You can use them as eyeshadow. You can use them as eyeliner like I'm using now. You can use it as a primer, so before you put on eyeshadow, but really the colors are so beautiful. I feel like cream shadow sticks are designed to be easier. So I don't really use them as eye primers because one, they come in shades, they're beautiful. They're designed to be shadows on their own. But if you really love to layer powder shadow on top, you certainly can. Okay, lovely. So there we are with that. So now I've got some definition at the lash line. I'm going to go in and we're going to use another Color Luxe shadow stick on the lower lash line to line the lower lashes. So we're going to go in with the shade Bronze to line the lower lash line. And I'm just going to go straight from the product to the lashes. This has some shimmer to it. And when you're working with like cream shadow sticks that have a little shimmer, they're going to be a little bit more forgiving than ones without shimmer because the shimmer kind of just creates a little bit of a softer look. It reflects that light and it just looks a little softer. So I'm saying all that because I don't mind if the liner down here gets thick because it's got some shimmer and it's not a really, really dark shade. But if I were taking that Americano shade that I put on my upper lash line and I was doing the lower with it, I would use a brush because that would just give me more control. I am gonna take this though and I'm gonna run it on top just to finish it off. Perfect. Such a beautiful, sultry, smoky look. The last thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my 211 brush that I used to blend out the crease. I didn't add any product to this. I'm just using what's on the brush. And I'm just gonna run it to kind of set that cream shadow stick and also add a little more smokiness to this look. Oh my God, so good. Okay, let's move on to lashes. I'm gonna go in with the Beyond Lash Volumizing Mascara and we are gonna load up the lashes to get some dramatic, full volume lashes. Okay, so now I've got the upper lashes built up. I'm gonna run a little bit of this on the lower lashes, not a whole lot, just a tiny bit. Okay, so we're on to lips, and you guys, I'm so excited because Jane Iredale just launched a new product. I've been using this product for about a month now, and I'm so excited to finally share it with you. Introducing the Jane Iredale Color Luxe High Impact Lip Glaze, you guys. It comes in 7 shades. I have them all here. We're gonna try them all on. Okay, so first I'm going to line my lips, and I'm gonna use the shade Spice from Jane Iredale. It's just a really good neutral lip liner. Spice is just a little enhancement for my natural lip color, which is good because it's gonna work with all of these shades, even the really bold ones. Okay, so let's talk about the new Color Luxe High Impact Lip Glazes, you guys. They come in 7 shades. And think of this as like to me, it feels like a lip gloss, lip oil hybrid. It is not sticky or heavy like traditional lip gloss. It has a high shine, like almost like a mirror-like finish. It adds a lot of volume to the lips. It feels amazing on the lips. I mean, it truly does feel like a lip gloss, lip oil to me. The colors are very rich. You can wear these alone if you want. I'm going to pair them by themselves just so you can see the true color, but you can also layer them on top of your favorite lipsticks, particularly the lighter shades. So let's go ahead and dive right in. We're going to go in first with, I'm going to work lightest to darkest. So first we're going to go in with the shade All Natural. And this is just your really good kind of neutral, rosy, dusty pink. Look at that. So pretty. You can see some color with this. It's more of like your muted pink. Feels so good. So this is what it looks like by itself. You could pair this over any like neutral rosy pink. You could pair this over a peachy lipstick if you want to bring a little bit more pink to it. Really beautiful, high shine. It doesn't feel heavy. It's not sticky. So good. This is one of my favorites. I've been wearing this all month long. It's so, so good. I like to have these also in my gym bag because it's a color that I can just throw on before I step into the gym so my lips are hydrated, but it doesn't look like I have a lot of makeup on. So love this color. This is one I would definitely pick up. It's just a very good, versatile, kind of everyday shade. Next, we're gonna go in with the shade Nectar, and Nectar is definitely more on the peachy kind of apricot warmer vibe. It's similar to All Natural in the sense that it's a great everyday staple neutral shade, but as you can see, it definitely leans more peachy and a little warmer. So we're gonna go in with this shade. Oh, so pretty too. These are gorgeous, you guys. They just give a lot of shine without the weight of a heavy gloss. If you wanna get the most color from it, apply it on one like bottom half or top half of the lip, then dip it back in and apply it to the top. You can certainly swatch it all over the lip with one dip, but it's just gonna sheer it out. So if you want more color impact, like do half of the lip, dip it in, and do the second half. Oh, so good. Look at that. So pretty. Next up, we have the shade Flush, and this is like my second most worn shade. All Natural is the one I wear the most, and then I follow it up with Flush. Flush is another shade that I wear all the time. This is just gonna give you a little more punch of pink to the lips. It's a really beautiful kind of berry pink shade. I love it. It's like a bubblegum pink. It's like a step up from All Natural. Still very soft, very wearable. You can pair this with any eye makeup look that you're doing, but it's just gonna add a little bit more punch to the lips. I also love the applicator. It's very flexible. So it really allows you to just have a comfortable application. You can also use the tip to get right in the inner corners of the lips. You can get a very precise application with this wand. Next up, we have Siren. Siren is definitely more of your classic kind of fiery red. Now, what's nice about using a bold lip gloss color versus like a more matte lipstick is it just gives a little bit more of a wearable approach to wearing like a red or a bold color. Even though you're gonna get a lot of color and like high impact from this, it's definitely gonna be a statement, right? This lip color. It's a little softer than wearing it in a matte color. So pretty. And what I love about this color is if you do wanna sheer this color out, apply it on like the bottom lip and kind of just press together. And maybe use your finger to kind of spread it and blend it out, and you'll get just more of a sheer application of this. So if you want to lean into wearing more bold color on the lips, but you don't want to take that full jump into like a really statement lip, do this. Apply it on the lower lip, blot together, and then just kind of blend it out with your finger. But on the other hand, if you want high impact, go in and add a second layer of this, and you'll achieve that. So this is what Siren looks like on the lips when you've really layered it to get the most impact. Next up, we have the shade Juicy. Now, Juicy is definitely more of a deep plum. This is another statement bold lip color. Let's go and apply this. And same thing, just as the Siren shade, if you want a lighter sheer application of this, just apply it on the bottom lip, press together, and kind of use your finger to spread or blot it out, and you get a more sheer kind of wearable look color. Like I would totally wear this on the day-to-day. Now, if you want more impact from this and you want it to be a little more true to color, then go in and layer it, just like you did with the Siren. So this is what Juicy looks like on the lips when it's been layered. You can see how much impact and how much rich pigment is in these glosses. They're very, very versatile. You can sheer them out or you can layer them to get full impact. Next up, we have the shade Cherry Noir, and this is just a deep, rich, brownish red kind of cherry color. Same thing with this, when you're working with these bold colors, if you want to get something a little more sheer, do the bottom lip, blot together, and really kind of press together so you get a nice even application, and then just take your finger to spread. And you kind of get that kind of more subtle cherry cola vibe. But let's go in and layer this so you can see how high impact you can take this color. I'm seeing this color a lot lately. It's definitely a fall color. If I were to wear this color, I would keep my eye makeup very pared down, like a simple, clean eye makeup look. Have the makeup and everything be very fresh and clean, and have the lip be the statement. And this is what Cherry Noir looks like on the lips when you really build it and layer it up. And last, of course, they came out with a clear version, which we're gonna just go and apply it for fun. Is a really great treatment. Apply a little bit of this before bed, or if you're going into the gym, or you just don't want any added color to your lips. It's gonna give a lot of shine to your lips. It's gonna enhance your natural lip color, but it's not gonna add any color to the lips. Put this over your favorite lipstick or lip liner. and you're good to go. So that wraps up this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll have all the products listed and linked down in the description box below. Remember, if you shop anything from Jane Iredale, use my code, you guys. It's Lisa20, and that'll get you 20% off. I mean, can we just give a big round of applause and a thank you to Jane Iredale? Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in my next one.